Good morning, good morning. It's Celeste of Astrology by Celeste. Yes, it is on this beautiful Wednesday morning where, oh my goodness, today Chiron is stationing retrograde. So it's a day to give yourself some tender love and care and those you love. I'm going to be using the Heal Yourself Oracle by Inna Segal. The Chiron is called the Wounded Healer, and it can, when your Chiron is activated or Chiron activates one of your natal planets, there can be an issue or something that brings up childhood wounds, and it can feel hurt. But if you process it and think about the roots and where this started and all that kind of stuff, it can be incredibly healing. Yes, it can. Hi, Jackie Jean and wifey Loretta and Anna DeGrace. Welcome, welcome. Hi, everyone. Hi, Maria. An amazing day. And Neil and Ridiculisa and everyone. And who's that? Redmond Sustainable. Ooh, I like that handle. It's wonderful to be sustainable. Hey, Neha. It's good to see you. Welcome, welcome. Yes. So what are we going to talk about today? Okay. So what I'm going to talk about, I'm going to make an announcement and then talk about the astrology for a bit. And then I'm going to pull cards from the deck and you're going to listen for your sun sign, your moon sign, and your rising sign to give you a 3-card reading for introspection, journal prompts, or whatever you like to use them for. I'm going to be doing more on YouTube, so please follow me there, subscribe and like and comment and all that kind of stuff. And Stormy Grace, one of my colleagues and friends, is hosting a YouTube challenge to help astrologers with channels expand and it's a challenge. So we're going to be doing stuff. So I'm doing it with her and I'm going to be an affiliate. So yeah, you can sign up at my link in my bio if you want to join. If you have a YouTube channel or thinking about starting one and want to grow it systematically. I've been kind of doing scattershot stuff, but I want to be more systematic. And what else is going on? Yes, in October, October 15th through 19th, I'm teaching about predictive astrology for the organization of Professional Astrology's Cosmic Shift Retreat in Park City, Utah. We went there last year. It was amazing. It's going to be a 3-day intensive. So if you're thinking about it, come join me. Email me. Or DM me. I have a coupon code. I don't want to put it just on Instagram, but I have a coupon code to save $55 if you want to join. Yeah. Oh, hi, Ixnid Luna. Nice to see you. Yes. Oh, yeah, Stormy is great. Yes, I know. Oh, thank you, Neha. I hope you're doing well. Yes, Neha and I took a horary class together many years ago. It's always fun. And a Mercury retrograde to have your ghosts come back. People come back and you see them again. Okay, so the astrology. My goodness. So today, Chiron, the Wounded Healer, it's at 27 degrees of Aries, and it's stopping to station retrograde. And on the same day, Venus is at 29 degrees of Gemini, and it's going to move into Cancer. Let me see what time. Oh, tonight at 8:57 p.m. So Chiron's already retrograde now. And the event that we saw, when retrogrades happen, there are big things that happen. There can be delays, the collapse of anything contemplated. This is why, you want to think about these things when you're planning events and planning trips, maybe for next year. I have all these ideas and plans. And well, in the fall, I'll do a predictive thing with Tiffany and Sarah, we do this. Tiffany Herlick and Sarah El Harar, Astro Auntie, we do this every year where we give you predictions for the upcoming year and dates to be aware of so that you can consider them when you're scheduling vacations and things. And we told people this is not a good time to be traveling because next week Mars is opposite Saturn, and that's kind of an intense energy. But what happened was there was an earthquake yesterday that was 8.8. I mean, that is absolutely immense. I was in the 8 point, I think it was 7.9 or 8.0 earthquake in 1989. It was here in the Bay Area, California, and I was in college. Oh my God, it was so scary. Part of the Bay Bridge collapsed, and a freeway came down, and there was the A's and the SF Giants were playing a ball game, and it was just pandemonium. And then I had finals canceled and such. But anyway, here I go with a tangent. This whole big earthquake in Russia set off worldwide tsunami warnings. And in Japan, there was, oh my goodness, there was evacuations. You know, the last huge earthquake like that in 2011, they had a tsunami in Japan. And in Hawaii, this was where I saw the biggest stories, probably because I'm an American. But anyway, and Russia's like, they've got big problems. There's something going on with one of their airlines, or things are down or what have you. But people needed to go from the beach, get away from the beaches, because there was, you know, this risk of huge waves coming. Thank goodness it was mild. I think 4 feet was the biggest wave reported, but people were all moving up away from the land. There were a few things that really popped out to me. And in California, I was getting tsunami. I got 4 tsunami warnings yesterday. Now, I wasn't worried about me because I don't live that close to the coast, but it could have been a really horrible thing, because in Hawaii, and particularly Oahu, you saw all these cars on the road. That's like Gemini rules transportation, trying to get out of town. I'm sure many of them were vacationers, which brings in the Venus in Gemini at a degree of crisis and decay. Think about all the people who were supposed to like go to Hawaii maybe this weekend or today, and now what's happening with them? Are their flights delayed? Are they canceled? This sort of thing. People not knowing what's going to happen. Tomorrow, Mercury goes cazimi. So there's this death and rebirth imagery around travel and transportation and commerce. There's also, like, I read something about some company was hacked, or the city, or something in Minnesota, the state government or the city or something was hacked or something. So it's like there's story after story about how communications are impacted. Heathrow Airport is an absolute mess, or was yesterday, because of some kind of glitch. This is Mercury cazimi. What happens as a planet meets the sun, and so Mercury and the sun in Leo is going forward. Mercury retrograde is going backwards. It's in Leo, and they're coming together, and there's symbology of death and rebirth. And one of the things is, if you sit at the foot of the sovereign, the sun is considered the king. You sit at the foot of the king when there's a cazimi and ask for a favor. Well, what happened was on Maui, Oprah has this massive estate, and there were people trying to flee, and they wanted to use her private road. And on Twitter, they were talking about they were denied access to the road. So you can think about Mercury cazimi. Can I use your road, a transportation thing? And the answer being no. And so Mercury cazimi was at 9 Leo. Oprah has a Sun-Venus cazimi at 8 Aquarius. So this opposition Well, apparently, eventually they said yes and opened the road. There was an article in People, Oprah's doing all this damage control, but there was some kind of delay to get access to this road. And when we zoom out to the bigger picture, we are in Leo season. And the new moon in Leo on Saturday was opposite Pluto in Aquarius. So the star, the special one, coming up against a group facing a catastrophe, and there was this delay to open the gate. But thank goodness nothing, nobody was harmed or anything. But that's what Mercury retrograde does, delays. And now they're doing some damage control, but I think, we'll see. The story probably doesn't have legs, but Saturday's word of the day is beloved, and that was a movie Oprah's in. And Errors and Omissions was is the title of the podcast. So I'm wondering if that story maybe is just done. But this is a conversation about the rights of the individual, Oprah, versus the rights of the group, the collective. You can't stop people in a life-threatening situation from getting to safety because it's your private property. So this is very representative of the energies that we're under, and we're coming to a full moon next Saturday where the sun in Leo is opposite the moon in Aquarius, and there's also going to be a Mars opposite Saturn. So there's this energy of some kind of conflict where a special one versus a royalty in the group. There are going to be stories about that then. So I hope I didn't just confuse everyone and you understood what I was putting down and you picked it up, I hope, about all of the themes of what we're seeing under the Leo sun. Yeah. Oh, hey, K-Word. So good to see you. Hi, Martina from France. Happy Wednesday. Yeah, I saw that Huntington Beach or something or Newport Beach, there was concerns about, a potential tsunami. Small World was one of the predictions for this Mercury retrograde, and I think that's really embodies, an earthquake in Russia caused massive concerns, threats to life, and upheaval, a plutonic experience where people were facing life and death issues after this earthquake. Yeah. So think about Pluto, and I don't know who said this originally, but Pluto makes small things big and big things small. So the big world became very small for people who live in coastal areas that were impacted by this threat. But it's okay. Yeah. Yes, Lara's here is my tangent tracker, so I've got one. Yes. Yes, you're my Mercury retrograde. One of my many Mercury retrograde stories. Hi, Ellen. So nice to see you. Oh, Marina Del Rey. Oh, wow. Yeah, you're close to the coast. Oh, beaches are still closed in Santa Cruz. There was a small surge in the harbor still. Yes. Yeah, I would stay away from the beaches. Yeah, just in case, because aftershocks, or just pay attention to the alerts on your phone or whatever. Aftershocks from an earthquake of that magnitude, like we still could be in a position where there could be additional alerts. Yeah. Oh my God, Anna was sending an email this morning, and it got sent to the drafts 8,000 times. That's your cazimi experience. Like your computer just went haywire and sent it 8,000 times. I've had, a bunch of, oh my God. I think I put it on Threads where I was recording my podcast last week, and I was just going, and I felt like it was so wonderful and so proud of myself. And then I realized I wasn't recording. So I had to start all over again. That was one of my Mercury cazimi. And then I had been working on this document for Oprah. I'm a board member, and it was just the retrograde, and I didn't save it. I thought I had it saved and and I was like, oh my God, I just worked on this document for hours and now I've got to start again. But Microsoft Word has an ability to go get a deleted file back. And so I was able to get it back, but it was like, oh my God, if I had lost that file, because that's happened before, 20 years ago when I worked. And so I was always really good at save, but I hadn't renamed this file and saved it. Oh God, thank goodness. So that was a momentary panic. Okay. Thank you, Tarot Love and Magic. Tarot Love and Magic loves and appreciates the way I share and explain astrology transits. So I'm glad you picked up what I was putting down. Yes. Okay. Oh, your sister's in Marina Del Rey, Martina. Wow. Scary. I had predicted a tsunami for this year, but I thought it would be in like November when all of the planets go back into water and earth. So Saturn and Neptune will go back into Pisces, a water sign. Uranus will go back into Taurus, an earth sign. And then Jupiter is in Cancer, a water sign, suggesting, the big waves. So there could be some seismic activity that leads to additional warnings in this year. Yeah, with that going backwards into earth and water. But yesterday was kind of wild. Yeah, very, very scary. Oh, at Camp Pendleton. Yeah, it got warnings too. Yeah, it was I texted my boo last night. He goes to bed early. I'm like, are you still up? And I'm like, well, if the tsunami takes us out, I'm not worried about it, but I love you. And he's like, well, I went to bed at 9:30 and there's no water at my door this morning. He thinks I'm nutty, which I am. Yes. Okay. Let's pull these cards from the Heal Yourself Oracle. Today is a good day. The word of the day is balm. And, so we'll see if the other thing I saw with before I go on, the tsunami was there were people on a Norwegian cruise ship who went to see a volcano in Hawaii. Well, the cruise ship took off with the tsunami warning, leaving I don't know how many people left behind on this island. Some of them were split up from their families. I went on a cruise just like a month or so ago, a Norwegian cruise, and I was like, oh my God, if I got left in Alaska and there was this kind of warning thing, that would have been awful. So these poor people on a cruise, stranded. I don't know how they get back to the cruise. It's just whether they have to go to a different island or just fly home. Their luggage and everything's on the cruise. What a nightmare. So that's like the delays, the conflicts. They're going to try to sue the bejesus out of Norwegian. The collapse of anything contemplated, like they had dinner reservations on the cruise. Well, they're not going to dinner because the boat took off. And can you imagine how stressful it is on the cruise for people whose loved ones went off on these excursions? And now, what if a teenager's without their parents or something like that? They didn't want to go on the excursion and stayed on the boat, or vice versa. So that's something that really impacted some people. Yeah. That's what retrogrades do. And Chiron is conjunct. Chiron's at 27 in Aries. The goddess of chaos is at 25. And so now they're moving together. And there was a rocket in Australia that was launched today. It called Aries, the goddess of chaos, and discord, that like blew up or something. So these are the stories. Okay, let's get to the cards. Hi, Casey. So good to see you. Okay, so this is the Heal Yourself Oracle by Inna Segal. I'm hoping I'm saying her name right. And it's a rock pool deck. I love rock pool. They send me decks and I love sharing them with you. And this is one of my favorites. Because it's really right on point. Okay, we're going to start with Aries. Listen for your sun, moon, and rising for a 3-card reading. Oh, Aries got sadness. Well, Chiron's in Aries, stationing retrograde, and retrogrades pull back the tape so you can see what's underneath. So there may be some sadness today if you're an Aries, sun, moon, or rising, and just let the feelings come up. They're meant to come up to tell you something. And it may be like, why am I thinking about in 2nd grade where Tommy pulled my ponytail or whatever? Or I'm thinking about this failed relationship or job I didn't get or da-da-da-da-da. And just, it's the energy. Retrogrades, the energy is most intense 5 days before and 5 days after, but especially a couple of days on either side. So this too shall pass, but there may be a little sense of sadness. And nurture yourself. Give yourself tender, loving care. Maybe think about doing a little journaling or what have you. I don't know why they chose that name, Aries. I thought that is the stupidest name for something. You want to have a successful outcome. Aries, the goddess of discord and chaos. Yeah. Who rolled an apple into a party and it started the Trojan War. Who's the fairest of them all? And then Aphrodite, Athena, and I think it was Aphrodite, Athena, and I think it was Juno, Zeus's wife, started fighting over it. But you can Google it to see who the right goddesses were. These powerful goddesses fighting over this apple about who's the fairest of them all. Yeah. Ooh, Taurus. Wild. Ooh, yeah. So this is really interesting for Taurus. Like, okay, so Aries for Taurus risings, Aries will be in your 12th house. So did you have any dreams? And the 12th house is like the dream world or sleep, or we can get messages. Did you get any messages or dreams about how you like are someone who's contained and like practical, stable, grounded like a Taurus, but you really want to let yourself be a little wild? And I thought about that yesterday for myself, and I'm a Taurus. Let me just say something about that. How, I've shed convention becoming an astrologer from my old past life. Yeah. Through suppressing your wild, succulent, outrageous, and untamed self, you dull your senses and crush your creativity. You shrink, lose your courage, and become depressed. Your relationship suffers and your rage grows. You become ashamed, hostile, cold, boring, over-serious, and scared. You stop taking chances and live in mediocrity, constantly trying to protect yourself. The truth is that no one can judge you, punish you, or hurt you as much as you can. Give in to your wildness and stop living a sham. This is the story of my life. I didn't know I was living a sham. I mean, I wasn't living a sham, but I have become my wild self, and I've made mistakes and things I wish I hadn't done. But when you're like coming out of a cocoon, it can be a little messy. So anyway, yeah, this part of you is sensual, provocative, truthful, courageous, bold, passionate, and alive. Set it free. Ooh, I claim that card. Yes, I do. I love it. Okay, let's see. Ah, yeah, it's a crazy name for a rocket. Yeah. Okay. Let's see Gemini. Ooh, Gemini, family and tribe. So Gemini, this Chiron is stationing retrograde in your third house of siblings, right? Wait, hold on. Let me make sure. Oh, wrong. Gemini, Chiron is stationing retrograde in your 11th house of friends, groups, organizations. So something may come up. Family and tribe. This is a great time, Gemini, to just connect with your siblings and your family. And there's so much in the collective with Jupiter and Cancer about heritage. And yeah, there might be interesting. Something about, you can think about how your friends are your chosen family. Think about that and how they've helped you throughout your life. Especially if you have issues with your birth family or whatever. Who is your chosen family, Gemini? It's something to think about. And Venus is at 29 degrees of Gemini. So yeah. Maybe you'll reach out and call a friend you haven't seen in a while. Yeah. Ooh, Cancer, unleash your creativity. Ooh, I love this. So for Cancers, this is in your 10th house of work and and calling and reputation. How can you be more creative? Like if you've been working on a presentation that you have to give at work or something like that, maybe go back and go through it with Venus and Gemini today. Venus has associations with art. And so, and Gemini words, maybe you'll like put an extra dash on it or add a quote or add something that gives your presentation a little pop that makes it come to life. Or if you're writing something, a blog or a book or whatever, you'll get some extra juju or you'll tell a personal story that like shows something a little revealing about you, but brings in your audience with what you're communicating. Yeah. Oh, so for Leo, yes, this is hole in the soul. So for Leos, with this new moon energy, new moon in Leo opposite Pluto brought up probably at some point in this lunar cycle, it started July 24th was the new moon through August 22nd-ish is where the next new moon is, where there's going to be like something brought up about a Plutonic theme where you're doing like a little shadow work where something you'd rather disown about yourself comes up to your conscious attention. If not this week, it'll be by the full moon probably, or the last quarter moon. Let me read what this card says. And this makes sense for the new moon opposite Pluto. Yeah. Your childhood wounds are creating a hole in your soul. One way they disrupt an extraordinary life is through low-grade depression experienced as a perpetual empty feeling. If as a child you tried to make everything all right by picking up the pieces for your family dramas, then you adopted a false self. So this could be like, think about being detached leads to profound loneliness. And this card encourages you to discover your truth self through learning about your childhood and mourning the abandonment and neglect you felt. So if that connects with you, Leo, this Chiron retrograde is in your 9th house. And the 9th house has associations with philosophy, religion, higher education, if there's like some life philosophy, like you have to make everything all right, or you were in some way responsible for cheering everyone up, and you may be feeling a little bit of that empty feeling at some point this lunar cycle, and it's a great journal prompt to think about that. Okay. And just acknowledge and heal, acknowledgement and journaling, or pulling a card. What my next step should be. What is the lesson and how I'm feeling? Where is it coming from? Kind of that sort of thing. And just processing rather than just pushing it down. For Virgo, how teachable are you, Virgo? There's something about with Virgo energy, and the South Node is here to teach you about yourself. I'm in my nodal return, and so I'm a North Node in Pisces and a South Node in Virgo. And what happens when you're in a nodal return? Yes, you have the opportunity to grow in the North Node, which is pulling you, and giving you gains on the place that you're supposed to be going to. But the South Node is also pulling you on the other side, like trying to keep you in the trench of what your comfort and talents are. And so for Virgo, it can be like you are organized and efficient and precise, but you can also be like trying to control things, hyper vigilant. There's also the tendency to be perfectionist. And so that's pulling you, and it's pulling you, you're being pulled in two different directions, and like multiple times, like a lot over this time. The nodes stay in a sign for a year and a half. You'll be coming up to crossroads, and you're like, what should I do? And you should think about leaning into the Pisces energy, because that's where the North Node is. That's where we're going, and letting go of the South Node in Virgo. So how can you bring teachable? How can you trust your intuition? How can you take in new information? How can you like maybe have a conversation with a friend or a sibling with Venus and Gemini about, what do you think about this? Or what have you noticed about me? Da 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 da. Yeah. Libra. Self-love, Libra. This is in your 7th house. Yeah, Chiron station retrogrades in your 7th house. And if you have a partner who you feel like you wish they would be more, or you want a partner or whatever, but this is a call with Chiron in Aries, the sign of the self, to do some self-soothing, to do some taking care of yourself. Libra wants to partner, and often is looking to partner outside of yourself. Well, think about how you can be the love you want from others for yourself. Yeah, I like that. Oh, Martina, as a Leo and Aquarius rising, that loneliness resonates. Yes, with Aquarius rising or Aquarius energy, there's always when they have strong Aquarius energy, there's always a sense of feeling like an outsider in some way, or different, or from your family or your schoolmates or your siblings or something. That's a story in Aquarius's lifetime, and leads to a caring and a connection for just other people in general. Often, like Aquarius can see our common humanity more than some of the other signs. It's a Air sign, and air signs are humane. Concerned with the thoughts, the intellect, and the relationships between people. Scorpio, rejection. Yes, this makes sense with Chiron in Aries. It's in your 6th house. And the 6th house can be a little bit of a house of anxiety and it's like this may be in your blind spot, because if you're a Scorpio rising, you have Aries in your 6th house. So that's a quincunx, that 150-degree aspect. So something may come up over the next couple of days that makes you feel like triggers, or it may have already come up, a little sense of rejection. And what's going to happen tomorrow, I think it's tomorrow. Let's see. Yes, tomorrow the moon is going to go into Scorpio. And so the Leo sun and the Scorpio moon will be in square. So there'll be some kind of tension. And probably over the next couple of weeks, something will come up in your psyche, or especially the next couple of days, that brings up a memory from the past, Mercury retrograde, or something could happen now where you feel a little pinch of rejection, and it's a great opportunity to do some self-care and some self-healing. And just recognize what triggers you, what makes you feel unworthy, what brings up themes of rejection. Where did it start? A lot of times when we think about it, if we can track back, there's always something in childhood that started that chironic wound. Oh, this is a perfect card for Sagittarius. Patience. Sagittarius, this is in your 5th house, in the 5th house of dating and love and dating and things we do to create joy and children. And like, say you're single and ready to mingle and you're not meeting anyone and you want to meet someone. This is a call to maybe have some patience, or you're an artist and you're working on a creation and it's just not coming together for you. Have some patience. Hopefully by the full moon, there'll be some light shed on the darkness and you'll get that creative energy, and you'll, oh, this is what I need to put here in the painting or there on the sculpture or what have you. Yeah, and just have some nurture patience, which is not a key word for Sagittarius. It is not. But the Temperance card in the Tarot corresponds with Sagittarius, and one of the, that card of balance, and patience is one of the key words for the Temperance card. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh, you got Saturn in the 1st house. Yeah, whenever people have Saturn in the 1st house, there can be themes around that working on self-worth is a theme in the life. Julia, oh, you have a Aquarius North Node, and just talking about that. In therapy. Oh, yes. Yeah, and with the Leo South Node, there's this big urge to be validated and be appreciated and to create and have other people notice and honor it. And with the Aquarius North Node, there's something about learning how to do it just for yourself and find the validation within. But that can be a little bit of a tough road. Yeah. It brings up... This was back in 2016, where Jeb Bush was running for president. He made a point where he was expecting people to clap, and it was crickets. Nobody said anything. And then he stood there. He was like, well, somebody clap. That is so the South Node in Libra, North Node Aquarius. That was bad. He lost the election on that, in that moment. Yeah. The way we were. Okay. Oh, yes. Okay. Yes. Lara, resonating for you. Okay. Aquarius rising can feel lonely and out of place in a room full of people. Yes. Yes. And I talk about Aquarius rising on the podcast, and this is something I've noticed with Aquarius risings. When you're talking to an Aquarius rising, I have a good friend who's an Aquarius rising, and I've known up several people. And like when they ask you a question, they can be very curious, like about you. And they're very, like, it's an interested about what you have to say and what your experience is. Unlike, like, if you're talking to a Gemini rising, they may be making like more like a conversational thing rather than feeling like they're really absorbing what you're saying. Or Libra rising even. It's not that same level of, I don't know, interest and depth with the Aquarius rising. This is just a very general statement, but that fixed energy is really focused in on you and really is interested in your experience, as Aquarius is almost scientific and is learning about and interested in all sorts of people and people different than themselves and whatnot. Yeah. Capricorn. Take off your masks. Yeah, like Capricorn, one of the shadows of Capricorn can be like feeling like you need to keep up with the Joneses. And so sometimes there can be this like fake it till you make it, or having to feel like you have to pretend you're like really successful or have to be really successful, or this need to leave a legacy. And this is an opportunity where this Chiron is going retrograde in your fourth house of home, family, and foundation. And you can think about what are the places where you can take off your mask and really be yourself, and think about, are you putting on a mask because that's what you learned that you have to do in life or something like that? And this can be a really good time to just do some healing. And if a couple of people put their sun, moon, and rising, I'll do 2 or 3 readings for you. Okay. Where I put all the cards together. Okay. Aquarius, nurture your inner child. Yes, yes, yes. Pluto is in your side. It's Leo season. There's this opposition energy. And Leo, one of the archetypes is the golden child. And with Leo energy, it's often a beautiful time to give some warmth to your inner child. And so for Aquarius, this full moon coming up, not this Saturday, but next Saturday, you may be feeling a little bit tender. And this is a great time to do some nurturing. Let me see what this says. Your inner child is urging you to lighten up a little bit, get out of your comfort zone, and have fun. So, Aquarius, what can you do to have some fun? Even think about this weekend, but definitely at the full moon. In order to be healthy, we must engage our imagination, creativity, and spontaneity. I love that. When was the last time you did something intuitive, spontaneous, and outrageous? When and with whom do you feel uninhibited, relaxed, completely comfortable, and to be yourself? Whether that's your dog or your best friend or a sibling or a neighbor or whoever, maybe make a plan to get together with them. Yeah. But let your inner child play, and that can be healing, because this Chiron's retrograde in your third house. So a neighbor, a sibling, a cousin, these are third house type people. things close to you where you can maybe have a game night. Yeah. Where you can play Ticket to Ride. I love that game. Or dominoes or something. Or Aquarius, maybe you want to play something more intellectual, whatever. Catan, is there something about Catan or Dungeons and Dragons that's like really, it takes a lot. Or Uno, and to hit somebody with an Uno reverse. Draw two, draw two. Draw four. Then you're not speaking to your spouse by the end of the game. Pisces, beauty. Oh my goodness, Pisces. Seek beauty. Yes, this new moon is in your second, not new moon, Chiron retrograde, excuse me, is in your second house. And so maybe you want to like go out and get yourself something, a little small treat that makes you feel like you're bringing beauty into your life, whether it's a bouquet of flowers, or you can go to your garden and cut a bouquet of flowers. You don't have to spend any money. Or a new nail polish, or a cute new shirt, or whatever. Just honor the beauty within yourself rather than needing outside validation for it. That's how you can use this Leo energy, and where the sun is shining a light. Yeah, and if you're a Pisces, the sun is going through your sixth house. So yeah, I love that for Pisces. Okay. Yeah. Oh, you're in your Chiron returns, Shannon, and a Scorpio sun. Yeah, really notice what comes up to your conscious attention about how you shine your light, sun in Leo. And then there's going to be a first quarter moon on Friday, but the moon is going to move into Scorpio on Friday, a Scorpio first quarter moon. And you might feel like there's something is revealed to you about that Chiron return energy. It's such an important transit in life that happens around age 50 or so, where Chiron comes back to where it was when you were born, and it helps you understand where you are on that path of healing those childhood wounds. And with Chiron in Aries, the wound is about the self in some way. Yes. Oh, and you have Chiron and Aries conjunct Mercury. So in Aries. So Mercury is communication and thought process. So you can think back when you were a child. Did someone give you guff about how you spoke or how you articulated yourself? Or did you have delayed speech where they were worried about, when are you going to start talking? Or did you have a stutter or something like that? That's Chiron conjunct Mercury. There's something there. Or is there a sibling story? Could also be something where you felt like your sibling was preferred, or your sibling thinks you're preferred, and there's some wound between you and blah, 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 blah. You can think about that. Oh, you think of the same. Nia, Aquarius loves humanity but hates humans. Yes. That makes you laugh. It resonates. Oh, hi, Karen. Nice to see you. Welcome. Yes. Okay. Please clap. Yeah. That was what Jeb Bush said. Oh my God. Okay, Ridiculisa is a sun, Pisces, and a moon rising in Taurus. Oh my God, Ridiculisa. You got beauty and wild. So let yourself be untamed, at least for a little bit. I think, maybe just get dressed up and wear whatever you feel like wearing. Put on your red lipstick or whatever. It's Leo season, and be your Ridiculisa self to the fullest, at least at one day over the next couple of days. Yes, I love that for you. And how are you wild, or how do you suppress your wild self? And how do you bring beauty into your life? Or how can you bring more beauty into your life? These are some questions I would ask myself if I were you. Okay, Kenda Marie is a Pisces sun. Ooh, Aquarius moon and Gemini rising. So I want you to think about, beauty, inner child, family, and tribe. I want you to think about, who is your chosen family? How do they differ from your birth family? Where did that Aquarius come from? What is the theme of, the theme around being different or unique or an outsider or a black sheep? This is a good time to kind of think about that with Leo season and a full moon coming across yourself, Aquarius rising. There'll be the moon and then the sun in your 7th house of the partner and the one-on-one relationships, and how in one-on-one relationships does your partner do something to either make you feel more validated, or does it, sometimes does that Aquarius wound get triggered a little bit? Yes. Hi, Star Stories. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm trying to read all this. Oh, playing Mahjong. I want to learn. Okay, I'm going to go play Mahjong. There's a guy who's teaching Mahjong near me, and I need to go to that because I would love to learn. Okay. Yes, I love card games and things like that. Oh, I was the hearts champion in college. Yes. Yeah, self-care and currency. Yeah. Showers and salt baths with baking soda. That's a great thing to do. A bath is a great thing to do with this energy with Chiron retrograde. Maybe I'll take a bath tonight. That's a great idea. Oh, you're taking everyone's messages as your own. Yeah, you could take all 12 cards and come up with something. You could do the 12 days of the Leo season and think about how you relate to each of these energies. Yes, I was a card shark. I haven't played in many years. Yeah. Okay. The whole world is about to go Aquarian. Where we're all in this together. Something that happens like with this earthquake in Russia that caused chaos worldwide in certain areas where people were, like, especially Russia, Japan, and Hawaii and Guam was threatened as well. And I'm sure there are a bunch of other places. I think even China. And I mean, yeah, it really reminds us how small the world is, how the actions we take have an impact. And now with, the United States administration rolling back all of these protections on the air quality, they're reversing all of these rules. Like back in the 70s, rivers were on fire and all this kind of craziness, people having all this kind of problem, asbestos, all this stuff. And all these regulations came in to protect people and require corporations to consider human beings with what they're doing, because corporations are like psychopathic in a sense that they're just about the shareholder value, a lot of them. But now these regulations are being pulled back. And so it's really concerning how this is impacting our air quality over time. It's not going to be tomorrow, but over time, we're going to see potentially problems from less regulations. Yeah. Oh, yes. Your lessons are in the shadows. Absolutely. That's what astrology helps us understand, not just our talents, but our blind spots. And it can help us a lot. Okay, take good care. Oh, I have a Mercury retrograde part 2 I put on my YouTube channel. So I did a Mercury retrograde right before Mercury went retrograde. And it's more of a teaching and showing how things show up. And remember, I'm going to Utah, and it's great if you want to come. We're going to be doing forecasts for ourselves for 2026, and it'll give us an opportunity to predict what's going to be in focus in our lives and what is going to come up, and then see how we do and how it shows up. Okay, take good care. Everything, there are a bunch of links in my bio for there's a free summit and some other things going on. Yeah, so check it out.